Isn't just about analyzing information and forming your own opinions. It's also about being able to engage with others who have different viewpoints, to listen with an open mind, and to respectfully challenge those viewpoints when necessary.
That's a skill that seems to be in short supply these days, don't you think?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think you're right. We live in a world where it's easy to get caught up in echo chambers and filter bubbles, surrounded only by people who already agree with us. But that's not how critical thinking works.
So how do we encourage young people to step outside of their comfort zones and engage in meaningful dialogue with people who hold different views? How do we teach them to disagree respectfully and to actually learn from those disagreements?
Well, it starts with us modeling that behavior. We need to show young people that it's okay to disagree, that it's okay to change your mind,
Yeah.
and that it's actually through these respectful disagreements that we can learn and grow the most.
That's such an important point. It's not about winning arguments or shutting down opposing views. It's about engaging in a genuine exchange of ideas, even if it makes us feel a little uncomfortable at times.
Exactly. And that discomfort is often where the real learning happens. It's when we're forced to confront our own biases, to examine our own assumptions, and to consider alternative perspectives, that our critical thinking skills are truly put to the test.
So it's about embracing the messiness of dialogue, the back and forth, the push and pull of different ideas. It's about recognizing that there's often more than one right answer, and that the process of getting to those answers, through respectful dialogue and critical analysis, is just as important as the answers themselves.
You hit the nail on the head, and that's what makes critical thinking such a valuable skill, not just for young people, but for all of us. It's about being able to navigate a complex world with an open mind, a discerning eye, and the willingness to engage in meaningful dialogue, even when it's challenging.
This has been such an eye-opening exploration of critical thinking and the role that both technology and traditional approaches can play in fostering it. But I'm curious to hear your final thoughts. What are some of the key takeaways that you want our listeners to walk away with today?
That's a great question. I think the most important takeaway is that critical thinking is not a destination. It's a journey. It's a lifelong process of learning, unlearning, and relearning. It's about constantly challenging our own assumptions, seeking out new perspectives, and engaging in respectful dialogue with those who hold different views.
And it's about equipping young people with the tools and the mindset to embark on that journey with confidence and curiosity.
Absolutely. It's about fostering a love of learning, a thirst for knowledge, and the courage to question everything. Because in a world that's increasingly complex and ever-changing, critical thinking is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity.
Wow. It really feels like we've uncovered this treasure map for raising critical thinkers.
Yeah, and we've explored all sorts of tools and techniques along the way, from AI-powered platforms to just good old-fashioned dialogue.
But like any good map, it's not just about the destination, is it? It's about the journey and who we become along the way.
You're absolutely right. We can't just hand young people this list of facts and expect them to just magically become these critical thinkers. We need to foster that genuine love of learning, a thirst for knowledge, and the confidence to question and explore.
And the article talks about the importance of really modeling these behaviors for young people.
That is so crucial if we want them to be curious, to ask why, to challenge the status quo. We have to show them how it's done.
And not by having all the answers ourselves, right? But by embracing that process of questioning, researching, and even admitting when we just don't know something.
It's about showing them that learning is a continuous journey. It's not about having all the answers right away.
And that brings us to another key point that the article emphasizes: promoting open-mindedness and respectful dialogue. It's about creating an environment where it's safe to disagree, to have different opinions, and to learn from those differences.
Which is so important in today's world, where everything just feels so polarized. Critical thinking isn't about winning an argument or shutting down those opposing views. It's about seeking to understand those different perspectives, evaluating the evidence, and then coming to your own conclusion.
Sometimes that means acknowledging that there might be more than one right answer, or that the answer might not be clear-cut.
Exactly. It's about embracing the gray areas, the nuances, the complexities of real-world issues, and that requires a willingness to engage in thoughtful, respectful dialogue, even when it's uncomfortable.
Because let's be honest, those uncomfortable conversations are often where the most growth happens, right?
Absolutely. They force us to confront our own biases, to examine our own assumptions, and to consider those alternatives that we might not have thought of before.
So it's not about avoiding conflict altogether. It's about learning to navigate it in a constructive way. And teaching young people how to do that is more important now than ever.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's about giving them those tools to engage in meaningful dialogue, to listen with empathy, and to express their own viewpoints with clarity and respect. These are the skills that will allow them to bridge divides, to build understanding, and to navigate a world that's increasingly interconnected and complex.
So what does all of this mean for you, the listener? We've given you a glimpse into the world of critical thinking and explored a range of approaches for nurturing this vital skill in young people. Now it's up to you to take that knowledge and apply it to your own life and lives of those around you.
You know, critical thinking isn't something that you just learn overnight. It's an ongoing process. It's a lifelong journey of exploration and discovery. And the best way to support young people on that journey is to be a fellow traveler, a guide, a mentor who models those critical thinking behaviors and creates that safe space for questioning, exploring, and yeah, even respectfully disagreeing.
And don't forget, the full article is packed with even more details and specific examples of AI resources that can help you on this journey. You can find a link to it in the show notes.
So keep those minds sharp, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep diving deep. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing.
And remember, the world needs more critical thinkers. So go out there and make a difference.